Oh, yeah. Have you heard this yet?
I have not.
This is Ryan's intro. Ryan,
Sounds badass.
Isn't it great?
Thanks, dude.
Ryan
This is the first track on his new album called Secret Squirrel Shit.
I don't think that's what it's called.
Led by General Komodo.
Commodity.
General Komodo is a total different thing.
That's a whole nother thing.
That's the B-side.
That's a dragon. All right. Hello, everybody. Oh, I know. That's for you. That's Master Shake. It's the last big mistake your ass will make for messing with Master Shake.
Wow.
I 3D printed that myself.
Wait, you have a 3D printer?
I do. I'm space age now.
This is episode 4, and we're already into, and this is part 2 of Secret Squirrel Shit.
Oh, okay.
That's what's happening here.
I love it. Hello and welcome everybody to 99 Stories, and this is one. We are your imaginary cookies. All 4 of us are back in the studio.
Yay!
John, you feeling better?
Yes, much better, thank you.
Awesome. John had a bad case of the shits. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really know
Yes!
No, I had a fever.
He had shingles.
And the only cure
The only cure was...
was more cold medicine.
That sounds healthy.
feel it.
That sounds like the right thing to do. Yeah. How are you guys? You guys are good?
Excellent.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Can't complain.
Yeah, I'm
man.
good.
Can't complain. So yeah.
Here we are.
Where to start the show today? Here's an icebreaker. Ozzy Osbourne. He's retiring for real.
I've seen it.
How do you feel?
I saw
How do you
that.
feel about it? Have you ever seen him play?
No, I haven't. Actually, dude, to be honest, yeah, no, I haven't.
Do you ever get to see him play? Sure.
Yes.
But I heard that he was great live, like even up until
The bitter end.
I mean, yeah, because he was even saying, like, when they were interviewing him, he was like, his voice is still in great shape. His body just isn't there anymore to get on stage. And,
effing old.
but man, he's like in his 70s, though, but I respect it. Like, the dude's still going out and killing it. It's not like Vince Neil getting on stage, and he's like, how old is he?
I don't know. He's laid down
He's
the
not as old,
cheeseburger.
but he's not holding up as well.
Yeah, I think, his body's all right. His voice just went. But Ozzy, it's the opposite. Like, his voice is there. His body's just like, hey, man. I feel bad for him because it's like part of you.
Yeah.
Now
It's hard to say that you're done.
So
You know, I
we
think
kind of
it would be
touched
hard.
upon that last week in episode 3 about bands that are still touring. Maybe the bands have different members. Is it a cash grab? Do they not just have anything else to do? Is it just because you love doing it so much? Like Paul McCartney has no reason to keep touring. He's got the money. He's got the catalog. He could live the rest of his life in a beautiful island resort and never have to worry about a thing.
Yeah,
But he's still touring.
Island, yeah.
And it's like, well, you have to be doing it because you love it, because you don't need the money.
Well,
You're good on the money.
Well, you see, Scott, when you've done a thing with the Beatles, as such as I have, and then you did the thing with Linda and Wings, and then I did that thing with the girl with one leg, you know, and you just you tend to just kind of do it after a while.
Hey, remember when you were in the Beatles? That was awesome.
That was awesome.
I do. Thank you very much. Do you remember when I started this song? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oof, that was a classic.
Yeah,
was that Let It Be?
it was.
No, that was not letter B.
Let her be, let her be. It goes
And
before
that-
C.
And that was kind of our message to the the fans in the world to leave us alone. We're done.
But about Ozzy, I got to see him 20 years ago with Black Sabbath and alone at Ozfest. And he was great, except he did that thing that I can't stand where the band drops the key of the song really low so the singer can hit the notes better.
Wow.
And it makes it total shit to try to sing along because unless you can transpose on a dime, you can't sing along. You know what I mean?
I didn't know they did that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well-
And Black Sabbath songs were already deep, so imagine like
Yeah.
NIB or one of those songs, and it's like War Pigs instead of like bing, 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 bing out of D. It was like boom, boom, boom.
I don't know. I think Electric Funeral might sound a little even heavier.
It was
down,
heavier.
right?
It was heavier, but melodically you couldn't sing along for shit. It was really tough.
Yeah.
It was tough.
I do know there's a trick if you ever have to, I won't do it, but you might one day have to sing the national anthem. No, no. There is a trick to it, seriously, and people that are like educated in singing and all that crap will know what I'm talking about here. But when you go to sing the national anthem,
Guy, you're killing his guys.
I win. Anyways, but when you go to sing the national anthem, if you start off too high, you have already set yourself for
failure.
The lower you start off the national anthem, like that.
Say,
Yeah. So, because check it out. So I'm gonna start it off high. Oh, say then you see, and I'm already out of my range once I've hit C, and I have to say ba da 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 ha. Like it's way out. But if I go, oh, say can you see?
You've left yourself room.
An early lie, and I'm still leaving myself room to get all the way up here. That sells it to the crowd.
Man, now I want to watch, what was that, Naked Gun with Leslie Nielsen?
But yeah, now that I've told you this trick, like sometime when you're at a sporting event or whatever, because they always do it, watch, and they always call out like, here, everyone, welcome local singer Sarah something other all the way from Strawberry Fields. Oh yeah,
Strawberry Fields. Forever.
Strawberry County Fields, Ohio. And do it.
Sally Fields.
Watch where they start, and I always pay attention to that. I'm like, ooh, is it going to be a good one or is it gonna be a
Scott,
bad
would
one?
you? If anyone ever asked you to do that, would you do that?
Sing the national anthem?
Yeah.
No.
I would be terrified.
I'm terrified. I'm terrified.
That I would forget a word.
I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
the words that well, and I feel like if you fuck it up, which you're almost definitely gonna, that's the only thing people will ever remember.
Is that what happened to Macy Gray?
Christina
Did Macy Gray mess it up?
Aguilera, there's been so many.
Fergie did the weird like.
She got too funky on it.
And I'm like, whoa,
What are you
singing?
doing?
Yeah. Roseanne Barr grabbed her crotch and spit.
Oh God!
Who did?
Roseanne Barr.
Oh, during she sang
That
it?
was like in her. Yeah, that was like
In her prime.
prime. Yeah.
But that had to
I'm
be.
an Optimus
It
Prime.
was a dumb idea to begin with. I was like, who thought she could sing to begin
No,
with?
that had to be
Yeah,
a
that
comedy
was-
bit. That was a comedy.
But yeah,
bit.
she came out there, "Ah," and then like everyone boo. And she
Somebody
like,
thought that would be
she
funny.
like grabbed her crotch, walked off.
No, I'd be terrified to do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Are they going to do it next week for the Super Bowl? By the time the show airs, the Super Bowl will already either be going or have happened. So congratulations, winning team. Yay. Hope you guys.
Super Bowl next Sunday. The Grammys are tonight.
Oh, yeah, we're missing the Grammys.
The Grammys
presently.
is going on right now, I think.
Well, I'll tell you who won. The Imaginary Cookies. We got it, boys. We won.
Did our podcast win?
Yeah, we got Best New Podcast of 2023.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hot damn.
Good
So,
for us.
yeah. So, yeah, bummer about Ozzy. I just thought I'd bring that up.
No.
No, I mean, hey, if you know your limits, you know your limits, and that's good. You know, I mean, if you're done, you're done. It's
What,
all right.
what tour was Ozzy doing
That'd be all right. I'd like to quit.
in like 95, 96?
Blizzard of Oz.
Was it the Blizzard of Oz?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because
Okay,
that was
okay.
Perry Mason and shit.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
No,
I don't want
I
people to be
still-
like, I want to. I saw him on the Blizzard of Oz tour because I thought that's what it was, but I'm like, I didn't want to throw that out on the
was a
internet.
great
for someone
album.
to be like, Joe's a piece of shit. It wasn't Blizzard of Oz.
No, no,
the
no.
Ozman cometh, and he can suck my dick.
Wait.
Cancel him.
No, wait, you said, what year?
95, 96, I think, like that. 90.
See, I was thinking Osmosis.
I saw it
It could've
after. I saw it after Primus, and I saw Primus in like that was like 93, and that was opening for Rush. And I saw that.
I saw that too.
Birds.
Wait, was that at the Richfield Coliseum?
No,
'Cause I was there.
That was Nautica. I do believe it was Nautica.
Rush at the Nautica?
It was outside.
Okay, because I saw Rush and Primus. I thought it was 93, and that was Richfield Coliseum. That was my first concert.
That would have been awesome
Yeah.
to see.
Whoa.
It was big time awesome.
I saw Rush in 07.
I had no idea who
be
Primus was at that time at all. I was just going because my dad got me into Rush, and so I was into Rush. So Rush was playing, so we were going to go see Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, there was this
So I knew-
ginormous drum set on the stage that like equaled Neil Peart's, and I was like,
This mountain of a man.
what is
yeah.
about to happen here? And I'm like, I was just like looking at the gear, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's a lot of bass caps, and like that's a big drum set.
He's about to feel the wrath of Herb Alexander.
And then like this skinny dude came out with like John Lennon glasses, and it was Les Claypool, of course, right? But he had like a ball.
Spoiler alert.
He had a ball cap on, but it had like You remember those like caps that like you got at Spencer's, but they had the extra long bill?
Yeah, like
It was
the kid from the Sandlot.
It was like ridiculously long. Yeah,
You're killing me, Smalls.
yeah, it was like killing me.
He's like, throw that hat in the
It
fireplace.
was like
He's
that,
"Take
but
this
like
one."
it was curved up and longer.
Right.
And he had like a tank top on and some of the and I think Larry Bird's shorts. Like those like real short basketball short things on. And he was like, hey.
Well, that was the 90s. It was
Yeah.
okay to wear
Yeah,
shorts
yeah.
on stage in the
Right,
90s.
yeah.
And he was like, hey, Cleveland. And like, and everyone's just like, I remember they started playing and everyone was still like sitting down. Like, whoa, that was me. I bumped the thing. That was a cool noise though.
That was a cool.
Anyways, they were sitting down.
It sounded like it sounded
yeah,
like that. It was
that
like the
was
same noise.
like right on.
Hey God, is that you?
Our father,
And I was like,
Art, who is now in heaven.
why is this? I was like,
Who's
why are
Art?
these people sitting down for this?
I
And
love
then
there
like,
be that name.
I remember I stood up for it because I was like, this band's awesome. And it was,
For Primus?
Yeah, and I think everyone was just kind of like, to me, I was like, whoa, the bass player is like the lead.
Yeah. You didn't
And
see
they-
that too often.
and
Rush
they-
would
no,
be like the other
no,
notable.
no.
So they were a perfect pair.
And
Man, I
like-
love the Police.
And at that time too,
Oh,
like
okay,
the
that's
guitar
fair.
player
That's
was
fair.
doing, I don't know, like at the one time I could like at that time I could, was that seriously you? Was that General?
Motherfucker strikes again.
Oh man,
He's got.
I forgot to bring my gas mask tonight.
Gas mask.
Gas mask.
General Commodious.
Smells
These are
like
not-
sauerkraut and peanut butter.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Dude, the reverb on that thing.
Is that it
Oh, we're
now?
getting gassed out. Yeah, that's Ryan's gas out button. Oh boy.
Everyone run, General Commodious
Yeah. You know what's funny is that means I was into Primus before you were. Because when we went, I already knew who they were. Mhm. Because, and I'll tell you why, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because I was a huge Faith No More fan. That was my favorite band that you could have as a kid. I was so enamored with them. When I found out they were on the soundtrack, I knew I had to see the film. Because I was like, oh, well, if they're on the soundtrack, whatever. And so obviously the film's great. And Jim Martin from Faith No More is in the film as a cameo. But Primus is in there because Primus plays the Battle of the Bands
Yep.
with the Wild Stallions.
Yep.
And I remember watching that going, fuck, those guys are really cool too. And they played Tommy the Cat. And then I went and bought a Primus album just to hear Tommy the Cat. And I was hooked.
See him.
So when they came around with Rush, I was like, can I go to this? I want to go to this.
I had tickets like 2 years ago. It was like 2020, or maybe 3 years ago. It was when they were doing.
all squeaky.
I was so bummed too because I bought like the VIP package, and I think you did too.
I did for the
It
Primus
was
thing.
for
They had to
the
cancel.
at the
Yeah.
Agora. Yeah, I was
Speaking
like, I
of
wanted to
Rush,
see
they
that.
did the Farewell to Kings, or
Yeah.
Tribute to Kings.
Yeah,
which was
that was the concert.
Yeah. I did end up going to that. Ryan did too. We talked a
Sure
little bit
did.
last week about it, and it was wonderful. It's a great concert.
Yeah, because they ended up rescheduling it, didn't they? Like later
it
on.
got rescheduled a couple
Yeah,
times.
because the initial one. Yeah.
Yep.
hello there.
Oh, General Commodious.
Ryan's taking pictures. The General Grievous from last week is out on the counter again. It's out on my bar, just chilling.
Defending us from Ryan's stench.
Oh my god,
General
my
Commodious.
General.
I'm gonna force choke you with my poop.
The force is
Is,
strong with this one.
What do you call it? This fog.
If you guys want to know what they're talking about, just look at the Cookies website later.
Yeah,
on.
we'll have to put it on
We'll
the-
have some pictures
Yeah,
up there.
we'll
On the Facebook and the
Because
Instagram.
Joe and
stuff.
Ryan and I think Scott, they all have toys out. Like,
It's become a
We're
it's,
kids.
it's a
Yeah.
non-running thing, I think.
yeah.
I brought a. I made this. This is
Yes.
a 3D printed Master Shake.
Say what?
So cool.
You got a
3D
3D printer?
Yeah, that's Master Shake from Aqua Teen Hunger Force
I'm
that we
really
made.
jealous of that.
And
I'm
look
also,
at this. This is a look at this.
Wait, can I guess what
can I
that
have
is?
You
me?
guess. Go
Wow.
ahead. Guess what this is called.
that a Dr. Evil head
Nope.
on
No.
some tentacles? No. Okay.
That is Dwayne Johnson. This is called a Rocktopus.
Stop it!
That's called a Rocktopus.
Dude, can you make me one of
I
these?
can make you one
I
of
can
those.
see
I
it.
want-
Like,
I
I want
want-
one of those too.
Yeah, I'll make a couple.
I want
dude,
the
the way
Master
that it
Shake.
even moves, like looks
Yeah.
like an
Do you actually have one here? A
Yeah,
3D
I made
printer?
it here. I have it here.
Dude, that's awesome.
How long did this take? Because that's heavy.
8 hours.
That was it.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's
that's
like
not-
you could set it up and then go to bed and it's ready in the morning.
It's gotten faster.
So you printed it with the links and everything like that? Like
Oh,
it
it's
was-
fully articulated.
Dude, that's awesome.
So cool.
Ryan, you'll have to get a picture of that too, maybe.
Yeah.
That thing's awesome. The Master Shape's
God,
really
yeah.
cool too.
Yeah.
That
Does this glow in the
is-
dark? Is this?
No, it's a neon green filament, or whatever they call it.
It's a Rocktopus.
It's a, you get it? It's a Rocktopus, dude.
Dude, that's awesome.
Rocktopus.
We're gonna have a.
I think this glows in the dark.
I don't think so. It's safety
is
green.
really
I
cool.
actually got it.
Okay, wait a minute. Now,
Safety green.
Safety.
now I do remember seeing these. Like, I'm trying to remember where I saw
like
these from.
Squidbillies.
Is this from the Puppet Master?
It is from the Puppet Master. Good job. That is
Wow.
Tumbler and Pinhead from Puppet Master. I was supposed to also have more of them. I was supposed to have Blade and Torch and a couple others, and they never showed up. But really high quality stuff. I actually took them out of the package just to play with them on this show. I was going to keep them. Well, because I realized I'm never going to sell them. These are for fun. I want to just play with them. So I have some Puppet Master
And
toys.
then this
Shout out to anybody who likes horror movies and full moon
And
stuff.
then who's this guy that's wearing the black pants and the white shirt?
That
and
is
tie?
Milo from The Descendants
Ah.
in the Everything Sucks era.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
There's
that's-
like a guy with a really small head.
That's Pinhead. Yeah, he's from
Yeah.
Puppet Master. So I don't know how entertaining this is to listen to, but yeah, we're looking at toys
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
my bar.
And I brought Link from Legend of Zelda.
Now that's pretty cool.
Yes.
That is.
I do like that. As a
Djokovic.
sword.
Is that a newer style?
Yeah, it's from the last game.
Okay, I was gonna say because he's very modern. That's like a very like, hi, my name's Ken. I work at Starbucks.
So I didn't know this until I got okay. So like for my girls' birthdays, because they're 2 years apart, but they're born on the same day, so they have the same day, the same birthday on the same.
Who's this? Your wife and your daughter?
No. My oldest and my youngest.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
That's
they got
crazy.
it. So anyways, it's weird, but they got a Switch, and so I've been like periodically when they're in bed or whatever, I've been Dad's been picking up the Nintendo Switch and digging through it.
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
great.
And of course, like I've downloaded like you can download all the old libraries.
classics?
Yeah,
I did that too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis. I think you can do the GameCube and
Yeah, it was a lot of it.
There's
Like I
a
was
lot.
playing like Kirby and shit.
Yeah.
And
But,
Dr. Mario.
But I realized on Super Nintendo, I was like, one of my favorite games from Super Nintendo was A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
And I was like, bet, I'm going to this. Here, they've totally like rejuvenated it and
remastered or
yeah,
something.
and all that, like, updated and stuff. And it's really, really cool now. It's
Yeah.
really, really cool.
I'm gonna call him here in a second.
Ooh, yay. Do we get calls coming in?
We're gonna try.
Oh.
You guys want to try one?
Did I,
Who's
wait,
calling
hold
in?
on. I brought this. This is.
Oh, yeah, do your thing.
I'll
Okay.
say-
Yeah, tell us
So
what that is.
this is like I was thinking about like okay, we have Grievous. He's all new. Like Link's pretty new. Like so, I was like, what about an old school toy, right?
And inside the bag, it's another bag.
Is it a pet rock?
No, it's not that old.
And inside the bag, it's
No,
another,
but it's like
Ooh,
it's
what is
this
that?
old.
What is that?
It's this old. It's like an old marble, right?
Okay.
Right, and then like I found this light that you can like put it on here, right?
Oh wow!
And like
Is that a picture of Uranus?
It's the solar system,
No.
according to Joe.
no, it's not the solar system, but like
That's really, really cool.
you guys want to know really what that is?
Yeah, what is it?
I know what that is.
Do you know what this is?
Can I tell a story?
Yeah.
So this hits a soft spot for me.
Okay,
I'm gonna get deep for a minute.
let's do it.
I wish you
Oh
would.
man,
I forgot about this part.
No, he pulled this out and it got me all emotional. Oh man,
Do you have one of these?
I do,
Okay.
and it's from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so crazy. So right now we're looking at.
Wait, hold on. Before
Yeah.
you tell this story,
Go
because this is
ahead,
great, just watch their reactions as you tell this story. Because they don't know what this is.
Okay, so what we're looking at right now is a pedestal with a light on it, and there's a glass ball on it. So the
A
light is
globe.
coming up underneath of it, and it illuminates. And so,
Bubbles trapped in it.
so I'm not sure if this is the same of what I have, but Joe and Ray a couple of years ago.
I want to say this doesn't have the secret ingredient in this.
Okay, so this is just a blown glass ball.
Right.
Okay, so
I think, but as we go
Yeah.
on,
Yeah,
as we
this is-
tell what
yeah.
this is, what I could say there could be.
so yours is different, but it's in the same vein.
Yeah.
So it's a keepsake, a memorial, if you will. So my dad passed away at the end of 2020, and it was a tough time for me. But I remember like the day that we were doing the arrangements. It like hit me like a ton of bricks. So like I was just like I wasn't there. You know, my sisters, we were all going through the motions and everything, and so they had like these little keepsakes and memorials you can get, like whether it's a necklace with ashes in it or whatever. So my sisters all got one and I didn't. But I left that day, and like couple weeks go by, and then I think it was my sister had called me and told me to come over, and Ray and you had one made for me because I couldn't bring myself to do it. But it was like the greatest thing ever, and like seeing this, like him taking that out, like it got me emotional because it's like,
oh man,
it's a blown glass, but it has like some of my dad's ashes in it.
Okay,
so
that's
so what this is.
So it's like a go ahead.
Yeah. So what this is a
keepsake.
giant piece of blown glass.
Yeah.
With someone's remains, ashes in it. And it's a thing that like they do at a certain funeral home. I'm not going to advertise any of that. But,
right? No, we shouldn't.
But I forgot.
But that was the coolest thing ever.
I can't remember if you got jewelry or if you got one of these things.
My sisters both got one of those, right? So I think all three of my sisters got one. So my older sister was talking to Ray, and Ray was like, "Did John get one?" And she was like, "No, he's not ready to." At that particular time. So.
Sure.
I think Ray had reached out and called you, and then you guys had talked, and then ended up getting one made for me. And just kind of like a surprise, but like when I got that was like, it totally threw me. That was like the greatest thing anyone's ever done for me.
That's pretty sweet.
But I love you, man. I love Ray too. That meant a lot to me.
No doubt, dude.
And I have it like it's just like on an end table. It's right there. Like every day I pass it, I kind of.
That's fair.
So technically, I'm not sure. Like,
now, why do you have one? Now, I understand that's a beautiful story.
No,
for John.
his doesn't have like
this
remains,
could.
Was this like a demo?
but it could.
Like this is like.
I'm
just gonna see if it's working today. I'm gonna make a couple.
I'm gonna be honest here.
You stole it.
No, I didn't steal this.
Okay.
No. This showed up at my house a while back or whatever. Because so this could have somebody in it.
Okay.
Well, why would you have that?
That's what I kind of wondered.
Well, here's what's messed up about this.
I'm all ears.
See, I thought you just had
that everyone cares about their loved one as soon as they pass away.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, Uncle Ricky, he was the best. Aunt Sarah, Sue, Tom, whatever. Grandpa, Grandma, Dad, Mom, whatever.
The minute they are cremated or buried, and there's still, let's say, some amount of money due for the services of the funeral or so,
They care a little less.
they stop caring altogether. And there's also, it's sad, I really hate to say this is sad, but there's tons of times where people get cremated, and once they get cremated, they never come to pick up their people.
Jeez.
And it doesn't matter how much you call, email, leave notes, send mail,
Right.
like snail mail and all that stuff, they just don't come. And so after so long, and I want to put this for anyone listening that wants to even try to throw a fit about this, it is a very, very long time that
Grace
these
period.
ashes sit on this shelf waiting for someone to pick them up.
Yeah.
So by no means is it.
That's tough for some people, though.
I get it.
It's really tough. Like everyone
But
deals
a lot
with things
of
differently.
it, like, that's where I always give the benefit to people. Like, that's like, oh, you know, it's really must be really tough. So like but a lot of it's just plain, simple.
Well, like that day,
Negligence.
with
Yeah.
me, like I wasn't even thinking about it. Like my sisters were like, we're not even gonna ask.
So there is a time when that shelf gets so full, or there's so many
Right.
people. They've been sitting there for so long, and there's certain cemeteries that have a scattering garden that's set up for that, and so they'll go and take those ashes and stuff. And this could very well have been an order that someone just has never ever came to get. And it's been sitting there for so long that it became a paperweight on someone's desk for so long, to the point to where we said, hey, this would look cool in the pirate room.
Is it wrong to say that would make the premise for a really cool sci-fi movie or horror movie?
Oh yeah, like
Like if
Poltergeist
that-
or something like
well,
that.
or
like,
even like a buddy comedy.
Like you had the ashes put in the glass, but you didn't take it with you.
I'm just saying, like, so let's say somebody gets this and takes it home, and they have it on their home office.
oh,
and
let's
then-
say it ends up in
and
like
then
a smelly knick-knack store, and then you bring it home, then all sorts of weird shit
like
starts
gremlins
happening.
and shit.
I was
Yeah,
like,
let's say
yeah.
this thing glows on
No,
its
that's
own
awesome.
one night, and it's like, you want to kill your boss, don't you, Scott? And I'll be like, oh no, I don't. I'm not. You're not real. And I'd be like, yes, I am. My name is Bill, and I was your boss, and I'm. Like, what if it?
Oh no.
Is that too much? Is
Or
that
what
too
if,
far?
what if it's cheesy like gamble all your savings on NFTs?
It's going to be big.
I'm the ghost of Bill Gates.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is wild.
Let's get on a
Hey,
positive
this is
note. But
this
No,
is the
we're
ghost
gonna
of
go
Jeffrey
down.
Epstein. I think you should buy an island.
Oh no,
You should start a festival called Fire.
Festivus for the
Wait,
rest
did
of
he
us.
do that? Was he responsible?
No,
for
he
that?
wasn't. That
Oh.
was Ja Rule.
kind of looks like a galaxy, though. Really.
Really, Ja Rule's.
Ja Rule got in big trouble for the Fire Festival that never happened.
How to end your career? How to end your career permanently?
How to end your career when it's kind of already gone. It's kind of.
I mean, 50 Cent already destroyed it, and like Eminem made sure the deal with like to seal the deal on it. But
Right. Hey, you guys want to take a call?
Yep.
Want to see if this works?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
All right, we're gonna call our pal Chris Donley because we've got some stuff to talk about. Let's see if he answers.
French donkey.
You knocked over all my toys.
Hello.
Hello, is this Chris?
Hi, Scotty.
Hey, you are on 99 Stories, and this is one with the cookies.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, Val.
Can you hear us all?
Yeah, let me put my guitar down. Hold on.
Oh, you're writing the next hits?
Play the best song in the world.
Hit. That's funny.
Yeah, you're writing all the hits.
Well, we sold. We canceled.
I'm writing my next trip to the psychiatrist.
That a boy.
Yes.
That can
Hi.
double as the same thing.
How many parts is that?
Oh, it's ongoing. Just
It's a-
like a psychiatrist. They keep you coming back for more.
It's a double album.
How you guys doing?
Good so far, man.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
We are we're on episode 4 of this thing we're trying to do, this podcast thing.
Good.
And we've been telling some stories, and we thought you'd be a great first guest. You're our first guest.
All right.
Yeah.
Aw.
We got into. Do you remember the old cheeseburger days
Oh, yes.
and
Somewhat.
like the Sadie's days and shit like that?
Somewhat.
We got telling the story of Bucknell when you and me and Joe went to that college.
Oh, my God.
Do you remember?
Not much from that night.
We
it
went.
was a fun time,
we
from what
went-
I remember.
I thought it was pretty fun, and we were playing in that other band. We were kind of cock blocking them, like they kept trying to start, and we kind of had them. We kind of had the people, and nobody was going to the cool house. But
I gotta be honest. It was I was not always all there all the time back then.
and that's different now.
Well, then it was a chemical
Oh, I got you.
chemical reason. Now it's just a chemical imbalanced reason.
Now you just need your Geritol.
I'm kidding. Can you guys hear me, or am I breaking up at all? Or?
No, actually, it sounds pretty good.
Clear.
Can you hear us pretty good?
Yeah, it breaks up a little bit, but so is it just live now, or I mean, are you
Yeah.
recording now?
Yes.
How are you
Recording.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well, hello,
going. It's
everyone.
going straight to hard disk on the mixer, so nobody can hear it but us 5. But then this will go to the streaming service next week.
Oh, cool. Very neat.
But yeah, so what we've been doing on this show is kind of like band horror stories, like crazy shit. And you got anything? You got any anecdotes or fun things or?
I know you guys.
Every show I've ever played has been like top to bottom, totally professional, no problems whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's one time in my entire career, if you want to call it a career, that there's ever anything that's gone wrong.
I don't know.
Wow.
We had
You've had
some
a pretty
Man.
amazing.
we had some debauchery when
I
me
feel
and
like
Scotty
shit now.
were playing with you
Damn.
guys in Sindust.
This guy's so professional.
You know what? We never told that story. Chris, do you remember the time that Sindust played with the Isolation Theory at the Club RE in Akron?
Is this with the naked drummer?
This was
that
the
the
naked
night?
drummer.
Oh yeah, that was
You remember
the
Tommy
night
got
when-
naked?
I do remember that.
And we didn't.
Had a sock on.
He had a sock on his pee-pee. We didn't tell him that it was a gay bar. Like that,
Right.
like the RE had been a gay bar, and then they were kind of trying, same owners, but they were kind of trying to, like, I don't know, reformat or just make a more like everybody's welcome. This is just kind of a rock bar thing. But a
Right.
lot of the people still coming to the club were the people who kind of always came to the club,
Right.
And then there were some new people coming in, like us, like all the bands. And the owners were great. Rhonda was great. I can't remember the Todd. Todd was great. Everybody was just awesome. They were so welcoming. Like it was not a big deal. There was no big deal about anything. But I do remember we played together, and it was so fucking hot in that big room. Because kind of like Mercury Lounge, the big room used to be a bowling alley.
Mm-hmm.
And we were playing the big side, and it was so hot that Sindust drummer got naked. Like, he took off all his clothes except for a sock on his dick, like the Chili Peppers. And all of a sudden, they became real popular. Like, the people in the room went, and they all started coming up and watching the band.
Sex sells.
So they rocked
And-
the sock off.
And these guys were like, and Tom specifically was like, well, they really liked us towards the end.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
they
that
did.
was the weird thing too for us. Like at the early days, like we never drank at all, like before shows or during shows or anything.
You guys were always professional. I mean,
And-
truly.
No,
I'm
not
not
at
kidding.
all. We weren't because
I always thought so.
I don't. I don't know. I'm not the proudest of my past of a lot of things I've said or done. So I'm trying to remedy my past regressions. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
we
but
never
these are the
really-
stories of our lives. That's kind of what
we
you know.
never. Well, that's like a new Critic City lyric, or it's bad choices make good stories. So like,
I like
literally
that.
it's- But yeah, in the early days, we never drank at all. But then somewhere down the line, we just started. We. I don't know if we ever got on the rails, but we just.
Flew off of them anyway.
we just. I don't know how we never got in trouble. I don't know. It's looking back, we're a little out of control for a while.
Here's an interesting question, and you don't have to answer if it's too far. Do you think after a band plays together for a long time and plays some of the same places, maybe some of the same material, do you think it kind of starts to get boring to where you have to self-medicate just to make it fun again?
No,
No?
not
It wasn't like
really.
that for you?
I think what was happening was we were kind of in the process of, I think, starting pop rock stuff.
Right.
Maybe at that time. I don't
Sounds right.
remember. And it was almost like we were just practicing
Okay.
playing drunk or something. I don't know. It just seemed like.
Oh, like trying to get your road legs for what it was going to be like?
I mean, the joke was, like, back in the day when we used to practice was, well, if you're going to drink during a show, you might as well drink during practice. So it was like we could have been so much better.
We used to do that, Joe. Remember the Goldschlager days?
Oh man, the Golden Boys.
We used to drink so much on stage, we actually got sent home a couple times.
They tried
Really?
to, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It got a little weird for us. But I don't know if
Have
that's
you
because...
ever had band members, like, trying to fist fight on stage in between songs?
Ooh, no.
None of us.
No.
None of us.
No, but I've seen that.
There was a
I've
guy.
been at shows where that's gone
Yeah,
down.
there was a couple times. There was a person here or a person there that I don't see much anymore that I had to stop from fighting with one of the other bands or calling someone out on stage, which was just not cool, like on their microphone.
Yeah.
But nobody's
That
ever.
never happened for us. Just kidding. It always happened to be like it would happen at Put in Bay or something where we were drinking all day and
See, that's the thing too. I mean, you want to talk about getting your road legs and shit, like your sea legs. Going to Put in Bay and having to drink all day. Well, you don't have to, but you're just having fun, and you're trying to kind of find something to do. And then by the time you hit stage, you're fucked.
As I say, since we brought up Put in Bay, hey Chris,
hey,
remember when you played with us and you were way better than us, and you got mad at us at every song we played because we sucked?
no, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like The thing I remember is
I'm sorry if I was mean at all.
No,
in my
I'm
past.
just.
I don't-
You were never mean, but I think you were pissed.
Yeah, because I think we played like Everlong, and we didn't play the right notes, and you're getting so mad at us. You're like, "That's not how you play." We're like, "We don't care. We're rock and roll." Oh,
I remember that one practice didn't go well.
I don't know. I apologize.
No, it wasn't your fault. We were stupid. We're still stupid.
yeah.
I tell you what, though. Aside from that, I do remember that was.
But
Hey Chris, remember that one time when you were great and we sucked?
that's more or less what we just said.
No, I don't remember
that part was
ever, 'cause
awesome.
I've never been great.
But from that point on, we played Everlong right every time after that.
That is true. That
Well,
is true.
I've told a lot of people, Chris, that if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have had a career. Because
Oh, whatever, dude.
No, it's true. You showed me how to do cover gigs, like how to make money at it, and because I mean, we always kind of had the love of writing songs, and we've done that throughout the last 20 years. But as far as getting to do it, play a couple nights a week and actually make a living wage on it, I didn't know how to do that till you showed me. And like we were talking about the old cheeseburger days, and because even when the Cookies started, when this group started, you played with us. I think at our very first show, which was the Shangri-La Music Fest.
Didn't I play bass that
You did
night?
play bass. You were Snickerdoodle Donley,
And who played keyboards that night?
Christopher Eggert, which we've brought up before.
Skinny dude.
Yeah, because he's a big time goth industrial producer and plays in some cool bands. I can't remember what state he's living in.
nice.
Shout out Chris if you hear this. We're still friends on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, he went big time with it.
Yeah, John, were you at Shangri-La?
Actually, funny
Were
story.
you still with Groove Pipe?
Well, Chad Spiros, who was the one that kind of like headed that up.
Yeah.
I helped him out a lot with that actually.
Yeah. Where was that? That was like a dirt
was-
bike racetrack kind of
Yeah,
thing?
it was down in Waynesburg.
Yeah.
It was off of 43. But yeah, Chad had that idea, and he knew the guys that owned the land, and I kind of did like a lot of the PR stuff for him. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
That was-
Joe,
I want to
you
say I had to play that night too, solo or something. Or the
you
band
didn't
had
get
a
to
show.
stay. You did. You played with us, and then I think you had to bounce. Joe set up a tent and stayed there for the weekend.
Yep.
And then
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I stayed with you guys for a little bit, and I didn't spend the night, but I stayed until dark.
Yeah, and you
just
left,
kinda
and then
hung out.
it rained that night.
Yeah.
But I totally, man,
Remember that?
yeah. Because that was the first time I ever played. That was the first show that I ever played shirtless.
It was 2005. Can you believe that?
Yes, it was
And
2005.
Yeah.
that was because I was up the whole night, the night previous.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if that goes on the podcast. We'll leave that there.
Whatever.
That's up to you. Yeah.
So you can't edit things then.
Oh yeah.
No,
totally.
yeah. So be careful because
Alright.
it's live in that regard. So we go for an hour, and whatever's said is said. So we try to be careful if there's.
That's all right. I'm old.
Oh, so we
people-
can't
I'm
say.
adult. Yeah, you can totally say that. But
You can say any words you want, but if you self-incriminate,
We had a heroin orgy the night before.
yeah, you can totally say that.
yeah.
You can totally say that.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
no, I think
remember
if I
this.
remember correctly, I think I partaked in some like fungus. of
there
some
was a
sort.
lot of things going
Extra mushrooms
down.
on your pizza.
Camping,
Yeah, and things going in now.
late night Sasquatch hunting.
Yeah.
But I remember having one of those giant glow sticks, and it was like one of those
drink
ones
it?
that was like no.
Broke it open and just drank it.
But they're like what, like a foot long.
God told me to do it.
Yeah, they're like a foot long, but like they're like a quarter stick, like
Yeah.
they're big. And I remember some like hillbilly guy was like, "Whoa, can I see that?" And he was already covered in like
Dude,
in
everybody
stuff.
was doing that the
Yeah,
one
like-
night. Like they were breaking them and pouring them all
Pour
over.
'em
There.
all- yeah,
People
and I had this
running around
giant glow
naked.
because like we were throwing these glow sticks around and watching like all the other people tripping like run after it. And I was like, "Look, it's like dogs." And
And
one some
then
dude
you were
came over
doing
and was
it?
like, "Honey, look at this! I found a big one." He's like, "Hold on, let me see." And he tried to like bite onto it to like tear it open,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he literally had like one tooth. And I'm like,
So it was
"That ain't
more
gonna
like a
work."
can opener? Like,
Yeah,
you had to
it was
keep
just-
turning
I just
it
remember
and
seeing that
turning
one
it.
tooth trying to like gnaw into that hard plastic. Like,
This was T
and I was
County?
like, yeah,
No, that's
close enough.
Snaggletooth Terry. Snaggletooth Terry.
Is that,
I
you
know
know
that
what I'm
guy.
talking about.
I know that guy. Good Lord.
I didn't know his
Dude.
name was Snaggletooth Terry, but it makes sense now.
Crazy.
God.
To bring it full circle, that's who's in the orb.
Oh,
Chris didn't hear that part. We have a memoriam orb here from a funeral home that has someone's ashes scattered in it, but we don't know whose.
Really? That's
It's
pretty
it's
cool
a true
and creepy.
story. It's actually pretty
pretty
neat.
cool and creepy.
It is.
Yeah,
We're gonna post
yeah.
some pictures of it on the maybe the Facebook or something.
What about the driver's license one that you wrote the song about? That lady.
Oh, the mysterious Geraldine.
Yeah. What?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not.
Wait,
It's not
wait.
her.
No, it could be though. Yeah, yeah. I wrote this song about a woman who had donated her organs to science, and then what happens if the person who got the organs was possessed by the spirit of the previous.
Oh.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's roll that.
Yeah. That was. I forgot about
Now,
that.
what if that
Yeah.
person that's possessed by that goes into the store
And gets
the
the
thrift
orb?
store and gets the globe
Because that
with
was
the
Geraldine's
ashes.
long lost husband, and now they're together.
It's like the keymaster and gatekeeper.
Oh,
Right? If someone asks you if
We
you're
gotta
a
get these two
god, Ray,
together.
you say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I thought Cross
So
the
what?
Streets
So
was
what is
bad.
you guys' like worst show experience in your lives?
We've been talking about some of that.
man.
I got
Joe,
one.
here's a good one. Joe, do you remember? And you told me this story, so you'll have to tell it better. Do you remember playing the one-off show with Terry Turnabeni and forgetting all your drum
Dude,
stands?
you know what's funny?
Let's hear about this.
As Chris asked that question,
You thought about it?
That was the story. I was like, oh, I wonder, I'm like, how many bad, I was like, what
Yeah,
bad
what's my
ones?
worst
That was the
time?
first thing that popped in my head. So, okay, yeah, I'll do it.
Go ahead. Lean in a little bit. All I hear is the room.
Oh, okay. This is, oh,
Is this thing on? That was episode 1.
there. Is this better?
That sounds so much better.
It sounds so loud in my headphones.
Do you want
so
your
that's why I've
headphones
been backing
down?
up.
Okay.
So because I don't want to feel like I'm breathing down everyone's ear hole.
I'll mix it later. You're good.
Big beautiful butthole. Okay.
Just a butthole mouth. That's a Chris thing.
Okay. So, anyways, Terry T. I forget how it came about. Terry T got a gig and his drummer couldn't fill in
Yeah,
or something.
Well, the three of us used to be the Torpedoes. Remember Terry T and the Torpedoes?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Okay. That was a cheeseburger thing.
Yeah.
We met him through Cheeseburger.
Yep. So Terry T was playing down at the what was that called? The Quaker Steak and
Yeah.
Lube, but it was in Sharon, PA.
Yes.
Right.
Which was like the main headquarters.
That
main,
was a weird one too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you ever play out there, Chris, for Rich?
Sindust played a show there inside the one weird room while there was like an outdoor festival going on. So there was literally no one coming inside.
Oh, that makes
except
total
to use
sense.
the bathroom.
Oh, God.
Hey, this is outside thing going on. Let's put the band inside.
It was the strangest. Yeah, well, not the strangest, but it was strange. But go on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I played there.
So Terry gets you to play the drums.
So Terry gets me to play the drums, and at that time I was using my Roland
electronic kit.
Roland V drum kit.
And that was working really well with us
Yeah.
on the cheeseburger stuff and
Yep.
the small things because the sound was great and it was totally volume controlled. So you could play like a rock song, but you didn't.
Now
blow
here's the
away.
question: Did I have to borrow one of our JBLs
Speakers?
at that time, or did I have the Bose back then? That I can't.
You didn't
remember.
have the Bose yet.
So I had to. So I was might be going through whatever Terry's.
You were going
PA.
through Terry's rig.
Okay.
And I just remember you had to hop in the car quick and get to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And you
so
threw your shit in the car.
So I was working that day.
Yeah.
And at that time I was delivering pizzas, and so that Roland set everything fit in the trunk except the rack system for it, and I had that in the back seat of my car. So delivering pizzas and stuff, I took that rack out and put it like by the back door of the pizza shop to remind myself
on the way out.
on the way out not to forget to bring that rack to the gig. And,
What?
and of course, by doing so, I totally forgot to bring that rig, and it wasn't until I was in chair like in their parking lot, and I'm like backing up.
Oh, so you're looking behind you
so
to
I'm looking
back
behind me to back
up. And then
up,
you
and
start
I go,
scanning your back seat. And
I
you
go,
oh,
fuck, and I don't have it, and I don't have now every pad of that kit fits on that rack and is held by that rack. I don't have stands to be like, you know what I mean? Like if it was like,
If
oh,
you're
I
not
forgot
a-
my boom stand. Oh, I could use this other stand. You know what I mean?
If you're
Or-
not a
yeah,
if you're not a
like-
drummer, an electronic kit has a big rack or cage thing that you unfold, and all the drums fit on it. So without that thing, you only have drum pads that are just free floating,
floating
they
around.
have no structure to play.
Yeah, and so there was like, I figured that out. And we got a hold of Rich, and Rich was like, there's some guys that play instruments here, and so they were all making the phone calls to see if they could like
Doing the holy shit moment.
Yeah,
You're
can someone
having a
bring
nuclear breakdown?
Yeah, if it's like if they could bring some stands, we might be able to make this work or whatever. And of course, no one was bringing stands or anything. And I was like, fuck. And
But you carry on.
yeah, you carry on. And so I was like, okay, what do I do here? I'm like, well, here's some chairs. All right. So I got some chairs, and I was able to like position these chairs to where my snare sat, like I could sit. My snare sat between my legs. My first tom was like right over in front of that pad. The other tom was over here. So I was like, okay, I got the basics.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I had the arms to like to the cymbal pads of that kit, but I just didn't have like
chair.
yeah, and I got a bunch of duct tape and taped that shit to a chair, and lo and behold, there was like it looked. People coming in were like because still sound wise it's electronic, so it sounded great. So as we're there's Terry Cheeseburger and whatever he's singing, and everyone's coming in like, oh man, this is great, and then they was like, what the fuck is this drummer playing there? Is he playing on chairs? And like people like in between set like songs were like, hey bro, are you playing some chairs? I'm like, yeah.
Your chairs sound
I'm like,
fantastic.
yeah, I'm a big dumb idiot and forgot my shit.
Well, and then fast forward a couple years later, and the cajon is invented, where you're basically playing the stool that you're
Right.
sitting on.
Correct.
so
So maybe someone came in there and saw that and was like, I'm going to help that guy
came
out.
up with the future.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Man,
But Terry did not like it at all.
Oops. Well,
At
fuck him.
all.
No, I like Terry.
And I never got called back to the gig again.
John, did you have one? I thought you had. Did you have a?
A horror story?
Yeah, I thought you said you had one before Joe went into his.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing a show at Chuck's Steakhouse one time.
I remember
with,
Chuck's.
with Groove Pipe,
Chuck's.
and yeah,
Right?
a long time ago. But I remember there was like 3 or 4 bands on the bill when we got set up when we were sound checking, and the stage was like high up, right, and there was like a guard in the front, and then I was like turning around and I was like looking at Brian, our drummer, and I was like backing up and I fell backwards off the stage and I cracked my head open. And I was like bleeding
pulled a Dave
everywhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, luckily I was okay, but it's like ended up like, yeah, it knocked me out, clean out for, a few minutes and then getting up. And then, I mean, as far as like horror stories, like there's been like a lot of things that have happened with like owners and stuff like that. But as far as like something like really bad, like that's one that sticks out.
When he did that is
Yeah.
when Chuck's had its old stage. It was actually higher than when you and I
It would have been
began
like
to
around
connect.
2006
Yeah.
era,
Yeah.
like that.
So-
I wasn't there for that.
No, it was way high. I know exactly which
Yeah.
one you fell off of. That
Yep.
sucked.
But like I
It
felt
had that metal,
yeah.
had that little metal railing in front of it, kind of like just like a little bit, enough to catch your feet and knock you to
Oh yeah, I just remember Chad like, oh shit, like he saw me going and he's just like, oh, too late.
You guys ever seen the videos of those guys who used to try to throw their guitar around their body, but then the strap lock would break and their shit would just fly?
I've done that.
Have you?
And
Wait, I think
not successful.
Was I there?
Yeah,
was
yeah,
it,
it
an
was-
art
it
show?
was-
it was a
at
cookie show.
It was at a Dandelion.
It was at a
Fest.
Dandelion
Oh,
Fest.
I do remember that. I was like, wait a minute.
He was like, "Hey guys, check this out!" And I
Joe's
was
like,
like,
there goes his guitar.
As soon as I said it, I was like, wait, I feel like we've done this.
like I threw it like over the bush or something. I'm like,
"Yeah, it was like over your shoulder, over the amplifier."
I did have strap locks, and the one just broke.
They just came off with the strap.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they did their job, but the wrong way. Chris, you have any thing like that?
Oh, let's see. Probably the most recent in memory is it's a classic story of Critic City just probably last year. Going to Austin town. And it was some younger kid band that had invited us out. And, I was pretty excited. I was like, all right, cool. Place for some, younger demographic.
Right, you
and
think you're getting the
hopefully they'll
college market kind of thing?
be hustlers like we were at that age,
Yeah.
21, whatever, and we'll fucking play to a packed room of new people. And we pulled in and chatting with the guys, and the one guy said, "Hey guys, I might get crazy tonight. I brought a kick drum mic." And I was like,
Oh,
"Huh?"
Whoa.
Getting a little
And we
crazy.
walked in, and there was no sound guy. There was a sound system.
right.
There were no mics. Somehow, Steve and I and Ogre figured out the PA, and it was like ancient and like dust.
Oh, right,
And,
like a
the
PV
faders
from the
would barely
70s.
even move and everything. So we finally got at least like kick and vocals coming through the PA, and then the singer over the mic says, "I can't hear my fucking vocals. Turn that shit up." And Steve and I just looked at each other and we're like, "All right, fuck this." So we went to the bar and just got
Just got hammered,
annihilated.
yeah.
and oh boy, it's a good thing that show wasn't taped because some of the shit I said on the mic was not the nicest.
Wasn't your finest moment?
I don't really care.
Did I tell you guys what happened just this last 4th of July? Oh, good Lord, forgive me. I don't think they'll care if I tell this story, but I was playing with Hey Monet, and we got the chance to go down to Cincinnati to do a 4th of July festival in their town square, like their park. And it was like, highly publicized, and they put this big, kind of like, it was bigger than a flatbed. It was like a proper stage with all the rigging and the lights and everything, and it even had a banner that said, such and such presents Hey Monet. And we drove. I drove down there separate, and I was the first one to get to the venue. And I mean, it was so official. Like the police had to let me through to park in the back, and the mayor was there, and like the organizers were like, "Here's where you can load in and whatever." And the guy starts going, and okay, so there's the stage, you can see it, and we got the lights like we promised, and you guys got the sound, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute. What was that last part? We got the sound." I'm like, "We don't own sound equipment. The boys don't, and I don't." And I'm like, the band's bringing the sound? Are you sure? He goes, "Oh yeah, I remember. It was a, we talked about this." And I went, okay. And so I texted the guys. I said, "Hey, does this sound right? The promoter thinks that we're bringing the sound system." And all I got back was a text from the drummer, and it said, "Oh fuck."
Oh no.
So imagine like a big Summerfest concert stage, and there was no sound system at all. So what'd
you do?
So when the other guys showed up, we were all in panic mode, and we were calling Sam Ash and any store that might be open. It was a Saturday afternoon, say 3:00 in the afternoon. We were calling, other bands and bands that they had hired before that could rent us something or, anything. Finally, luck of the draw, the School of Rock was also in town doing a demonstration for the kids. Like the kids were playing songs like School of Rock. You know how they do. And that guy said, "Oh, well, you can use our stuff from our jam space from the school." And we were like, "Oh, that's something. Thank you."
Yeah.
And he brought. Do you know what Fender passports are?
Oh no.
He brought.
no.
He brought.
Oh no.
He brought a Fender Passport, which is like two 10-inch speakers on tripods that have like 50 watts of power. And he also had a Bose L1 like I do.
Oh, no.
Which is great for a coffee shop or like
Yeah.
Gervasi.
Yeah,
but
but-
this was a concert stage.
No.
So we had a Fender Passport and a Bose L1, and I think we had a mixing board that did like 8 channels. Probably the same thing we're recording on tonight. And it was not good. It was really not. And the
Just
place that
miscommunication or
yeah,
something.
well, it's just stuff that happens. I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, these are the horror stories that make up the whole reason we can host
So who was it that screwed up the?
I'm not going to say. It wasn't them. The city of Cincinnati didn't screw that one up. I love you guys. It was us. That was an internal. You know what it came down to? I think I could say this. You know how, Chris? I'm sure you've had this before. You have a band. The band has a certain amount of material, and I'm going to aim this more at like the Pop Rocks days or something, where you set your price. It's X amount of dollars for your band to come out and set up and do the thing that you do. It's a presentation. It's a show, and clubs can either take it or leave it. But they want to haggle. They want to go, "Oh, so you cost X amount. Well, can I get you for this much less?" And you're like, "No, not really, because you're not that special." And they're like, "Well, what if we do this and this and this? Can we get you for that much less?" And they just try to nickel and dime you.
Yeah.
Well, those guys tried to nickel and dime us and say, "Well, if you charge this much, we're not going to supply the sound system and the lights." And they kind of must have said, "Oh, well, pay us a little more and we'll bring it ourselves." But on the day, maybe they just kind of forgot that they said that.
They forgot altogether is what happened there.
It might have been.
I don't know.
That stuff
The
happens.
best is like when people or places they don't understand, like, basically if you're booking a night with them,
Yeah.
you're booking your night with them, so
Right.
you got to get your price that you're normally getting. Well, I play 3 hours, that's my usual, blah blah blah.
Right,
What if
you
I
have
only
a-
need you for what if I only need you for an hour and a half?
That's what
They
I mean.
don't
That's what I
ever
mean. They
understand
want
what
they want
it's
the
like.
price less because, and they go, "What can I do? I'll get you." Yeah.
it's like you can't do anything, bro. You just took my night, so I need to get because otherwise, I'll go somewhere else and play my 3 hours because I'm gonna make more on tips and stuff anyway, probably. But
Yeah,
it was either that or it was some clubs with the band stuff. It'd be like, well, how many guys are in the band?
Oh,
It's
right,
like,
and they
it
try to
shouldn't
prorate
matter
you.
how many
Yeah,
fucking
they try
guys
to
are in the
prorate
band.
your pay.
No.
Well, I'm not giving you 1,000 if there's only
There's
3 guys
20
or 2
members,
guys.
and they all
Right.
need 15,000
Yeah, it's like if that's the
each.
case, I'm just gonna invite 12 of my best friends to come up on stage and drink
Exactly.
with me, and
Yeah.
there we have
When,
16 people in the band.
When we were doing Broken Transmitter, we had that problem a lot because we were bringing a full drum kit, guitar rig, and sometimes even TV monitors with videos we'd made, kind of like Second Half used to do. Like
Nice.
we were doing stuff that took another hour to set up to make the show good, and they'd go, "Well, I'm not paying you X amount if there's only 2 of you. I'd pay you if there was 3 of you or 4 of you." And we're like, "Yeah, but you're not judging the show.
Right.
We're not coming with a cajon and acoustic. This is we're doing a rock and roll show. They're
Right.
just, look at 21 Pilots, look at White Stripes. Like, we went that extra mile for some of those performances. Like, no, we want to charge what we're charging. And they try to fuck you. You know,
Yeah.
or Chris, have you ever been invited to do a house party, and they go, maybe they agree on the price, but they want you to show up at like noon to set up, and then maybe the guests show up at 3, but they want you to hang out. We'll feed you. You can bring your friends or your girlfriend or your wife, or you bring anybody you want. Oh, and if you drink too much, you can stay here. Like, they want you to basically hang out with them and be their friend all day for 12 hours for the same couple $100 that you would have made just going to the bar and going home. No, it
I can't
happens.
really say that. I can't really say that that's happened.
That doesn't happen to you?
Nobody really ever wants
You're
to.
just that. You're just like that likable.
I am not like. Nah.
You're just that likable that everyone wants to hang out with you.
No, but I mean,
But how much
no,
is it for
that's
Scott
never
to
really.
hang out with?
I can honestly say, like, since COVID, I mean, it's kind of been a good thing because it's, at least for me, because I barely play any bars anymore. I hardly ever have to deal with like the shithead drunks.
Right.
I'm doing mostly like corporate gigs or nice upscale restaurants and a ton of private parties. And
That's pretty
I
cool.
have to be honest that
You like that better.
I'm pretty fortunate that, I've been getting some of these private parties where literally they're ready to book for next year at the end of the night. You know what I mean? And,
That's great.
and I don't even change my price or anything because everybody's been so cool. Like, for real, there's probably, 10 to 15 different families that I do, like, their annual clam bake or house party or whatever. And it's just been,
Whose clam are you baking?
and I gotta be honest, it's 4 times as much money usually as it would be playing a band gig or something,
Oh, shit. Good for you.
So, when it comes to like everybody tipping and stuff like that too, and
That's a success story. We've never had one of those on the show.
Whoa.
Way to go, Chris.
well, I wouldn't say a success story. I'm pretty good at like faking people out, I think. Convincing them that I'm decent because I'm not.
Fuck
but
that. I've seen your show a dozen times lately, and it's a non-stop playlist. It's like a mixtape. It just goes and goes and goes, and people are like, Jesus, he never takes a break. He never shuts up.
Well,
It's great.
people ask me that, like, usually after I'm done, and it's just like, I have to tell them, I'm like, I don't give the crowd an opportunity to make me feel like shit. So, like, if I stop a song and there's absolute silence, it's the worst feeling in the world.
Yes.
So it's more fun for me to kind of,
To
in
keep
my head
going.
while I'm playing a song,
Think of the next
all
song.
right, this song ends in the key of A, so what else do I know that starts in A? And it's kind of become a fun game for me,
He
really.
does.
And
He goes one song into the next and tapestries the whole night. You couldn't come up and talk to him if you wanted. And actually, that's a great defensive strategy. Because one of the reasons I don't want to play anymore is because that the people coming up and talking to you, it's stupid.
Hey, can you play Wagon Wheel?
Well, at least that's the thing too. It got to the point where, doing a solo acoustic show and, some drunk lady with her group, can you play something we can dance to?
Oh, yeah.
That
No,
whole
that's the
thing is
worst.
just like,
Oh, I got fired from you remember, you guys know Bender's in Maslin downtown? I've been fired from there twice.
Nice.
3 years apart for the same reason.
Wow.
They book me, I start playing, and then the drunks, the locals, they don't like it. It's not, I don't know what they don't like. I can't figure it out. But somebody will come up and be like, can't you play something more upbeat? And I'm going, well, I'm playing fast songs. How do I be upbeat with no drum? How do I be
That's
upbeat?
always the question too.
I'm playing
especially
alternative music, rock and roll, punk. Like I can play a fast song, but that's not translating as upbeat to you. You know, I don't. What the fuck do you want from me? And it's so frustrating.
Oh, it's Raining Men.
Yeah, well, I would. You know what I mean? Chris
one
would do the
of
same.
my worst was just a couple years ago. I was playing the Beerhead in the Flats, and it's just a room with windows, and it sucks. But I literally was playing I had a change of heart that night, and I was literally taking like request after request after request, and I was fucking making a shit ton on tips. And this manager lady comes up to me, and she's like 45 minutes in, and she's like, dude, you're killing me. Can you play something upbeat? I'm like, what do you mean? What do you want?
Yeah.
I'm playing these people what they're requesting.
Right. You're like, literally, I'm making your people happy. What's going on with you?
And the worst part was I have a friend that I play this one country club, and she's amazing, and she'll refer me to a ton of people, like do like, you know, cocktail hour for weddings. I only do a few a year, or like, you know, private parties and in clam bakes, stuff like that. She's got me a ton of gigs. So this family that I already booked their wedding, you know, like 5 months in the future, had come out to see me because they had never heard me before.
Oh God!
And this manager lady comes
She's
up
lighting you
like
up in front
twice,
of them. Oh God!
bitching at me, and I'm just like, so I started like literally like looping like a fake beat, you know,
Yeah.
and then just trying to play some upbeat stuff.
You're
But
trying to
then
get
it's
through
still-
it. Yeah.
It still wasn't enough. The third time she came up to me, I'm like, lady, I don't know what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tear down. You can pay me if you like, but I'm outta
leaving.
here.
Yeah. I did the same thing at Bender's. I'm like, I'm just gonna go because I feel really weird now. Yeah.
Well, and the funny thing is like then that family that had booked me, they like, and I didn't even know them. They were like on my side, like, what are you doing, lady? Get out of here! Just let him play. And like that was the thing too. Like the rest of the crowd was fine, and I had to think back. I'm like, in my hazy days, did I, you know, hit it and quit it and not call you or something? I don't know who you are, lady.
She was out for blood, that one.
It was the strangest. I mean, you know, I got some of the pay, but never again, man. It was
Yeah.
just wild because
Do you remember this?
it's just never enough, man. That's kind of why I quit putting day two, because it was
Sure.
like it got to the point where I was playing everyone's requests, and then they were just kind of like expecting it,
It's not enough, and they're
and
still
then they
hungry
don't
for
tip,
something else.
and then
Yeah.
it's like, you know, usually if you want to hear something, the kind of the proper procedure is you request the artist or the band.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a dick, you're gonna get specific and, you know, be like, oh, well, that song. But then it got to the point where these people were like asking for deep cuts, you know, that I've never even heard before.
Do they walk up with their phone and show you?
Yeah.
And be like, hey, do you know this song? And it's something you never heard of. And they're like,
Right.
easy,
oh, but it's
though.
so easy. It's like, you could do this. Just do it. And you're like,
But
I
I've
don't,
never
lie.
heard it
but I don't
before,
even know
you
what that
You
is.
know
John
it.
talked about
Yes,
that
you
once.
do.
Yeah. Oh, they go, yeah, you do.
Yeah, you
I always hate
do.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
oh,
my
my God.
God.
You know,
And
yeah.
then it's just like, oh, the guy sucks. He's got a bad attitude or
Chris,
something. It's
didn't
like,
somebody at Put in Bay, they asked you for a country song or something and you declined and they said you're not American or you hate America?
that was basically my last straw.
I know it was. I remember. I mean,
And it was
Wait, because you don't know the country
He
song, you're not
requested-
American?
well, he's had enough at Put in Bay. He was getting real frustrated, but
like, let's pick that motherfucker up and take him, like, drop him, like, the heart of, like, Atlanta. And,
he told me that somebody said that to him, right?
that he
That's
was
unreal.
a veteran, and that I didn't support the troops and I didn't love my country because I didn't play Kobe Teeth for him.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't play Tobias?
Well, hey, you know what? I'm actually for that veteran now. Shame on you for not knowing any Tobias.
Nothing says, God damn it, I love America, other than I love this
He
bar.
was once tough, but he's not as tough as he once was.
He ain't as good as he once was, but he was good once as he ever was. What the
That
fuck
was the
is
thing.
that?
I did know the song, but fuck them.
Oh, good. Oh, that's actually my favorite. You actually knew the
But
song.
the point, I had been playing at like every request. They weren't tipping at all. They weren't like, they were butting in and like interrupting other people when I was asking for requests and stuff like
Right.
that.
Oh, that's
And it
not
just
cool.
got to the point where, you know, I'm like, well, how about this? My buddy Casper, how about this? He's the country guy. He can play it. I'll go take a piss real
Oh,
quick.
fuck that.
And that's when he told the whole, and then he also said, you better have somebody walk you back to your room with you tonight or something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
What?
Woof.
Over a
Basically
country song?
threatened me, and I'm just like, you know what? And I was totally sober too.
Sure.
That was so like, think about, you know, mouthy me, as mouthy as you've seen me.
Do it.
And it's probably a really good thing that I wasn't drinking that night, because
Oh, I've
looking
heard you
back,
drinking.
I don't know how I haven't gotten my ass fucking beat.
You're hilarious when you're drunk. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Well, I mean, that's part of the silly fun that was put in Bay at one time, was that
It
you know,
did.
the bartenders would like try to see how drunk they could get me, because
Oh, yeah.
if somebody rubbed me the wrong way, I'd just tell them how it was, and because they couldn't. So like, that was literally their goal for
You were the mouthpiece for the
Pretty
unappreciated,
much.
overworked bartenders. I totally,
Right.
I feel
Well-
that. I get that.
Well, like one of the best friends I ever met on the island. She recently passed away, but like the first time I ever met her years ago, blah blah blah. I don't even remember the show. I come walking in for lunch the next day, and she's like, "You know, you were a real dick on the mic last night." I'm like, I'm sorry, first of all, but I don't even remember what was it. And she was like, "Yeah, I was the one that requested Sound of Silence by Disturbed, and you told me to go kill myself." And I had
Well done,
I literally,
sir. Attaboy.
I literally took her up to the bar, and I bought her a drink and apologized. I'm like, you have to understand, when I say things like that, I don't really mean it. I'm just kind of seeing what kind of
Dude,
reaction I'm
you
going to get.
should've-
And then
dude,
we
you
got to
should've
know
doubled
each other,
down.
and
I
we got
feel
to
the
know
same
each
way
other,
about
and like
Shinedown.
became really good friends. And she finally got the joke when she saw it the next night when I
Towards
did it
someone
to other
else.
people, you know.
Yeah. No, you should have taken her to the bar and got her the drink of her choice and said, "Now listen, that song is ass. You need to kill yourself after this."
Who knows? I might have still been drunk and did that. I don't even.
Yeah.
No, but
So here's a drink. Sorry for last night, but really though, have you ever thought about it? I mean,
I've got razor blades in my van right now.
Just for this moment.
oh,
Do it. I
gee.
bet you don't.
Yeah, you won't.
But there, I mean, that's the thing, though. I mean, I've tried to never really be malicious about
No.
saying silly shit.
But I mean,
don't
some
think-
people build their whole thing on that. I mean, even talk about Putin Bay. That was a Ray Fogg thing, like, you know, and a Mad Dog thing. Like a lot of those guys would crack on their crowd, and and people loved it. It was like going to Dick's Last Resort. Like people ate that shit up.
I guess, but I mean, I think that night it was just.
Too much.
I literally had an epiphany when I was totally sober, and I was just like, you know what?
No, someone trying to tell me
I
I'm
don't
not
want to be
there.
known for that guy that's a dick on stage. You know, I just
Right.
kind of want to. I want to play tunes, and if people want to hear me, that's cool. If not, they can go somewhere else. You know. So I kind of, I don't know, 360'd and just kind of like took a step back and reevaluated everything, and just kind of, you know, I just want to play tunes, man.
Yeah.
Just want to kind of want to.
Do you remember
It makes me happy, so that's
Yeah.
all I
Here-
got to worry about right now. So
hearing that other story reminds me of? This isn't a great story, but do you remember the night we got fired from Lobies?
oh yes,
Did I ever tell you guys that?
French Donkey.
Yeah, French
you told me
Donkey
that.
did I set it up at Lobies. I was like, hey, I want my original group to come in. I said, we'll do some covers, but we're going to do a lot of our stuff too. We'll fill up the night. You're going to love it. And we used to have a nice following here. They would see us at Cheeseburger. They would see us at Sadie's. We could put asses in seats, and really that's all they want. That's all a club
Yeah.
wants is attendance. You know, almost to the point, almost to the deficit of caring what the show is. Like, if there's people here, great, we'll pay your asking price. And Chris and I did all that. I mean, the place was full. I do remember a lot of Cheeseburger alumni and Sadie's alumni. And we
Yep.
started playing our songs, which are 2 acoustics, 2 vocals, Some of them are softer than others, but
Sure.
it wasn't anything too much. But the owner ended up hating it quietly from the kitchen. Wouldn't come talk to us. Had one of the off-duty managers show up. And I can't remember the guy's name at the time, but the guy shows up in like sweatpants, and normally this guy's like decked out, professional khakis, work shirt, dress shirt. He comes in looking like he just came off the couch.
Tell me about Tommy.
That's it. It was Tommy.
Tommy Ankle.
Yeah. So he comes in. He goes, "Hey man,
Tommy Ankle."
He comes in. He goes, "I got to send you guys home." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? We were on our first break." He goes, "Well, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but look at this text." And the text said, "Hey, come in here and get this band out of here. They make me want to kill myself."
Oh man.
And we were hurt. Actually, I mean, it's funny now. At least it's funny to me. Hopefully, Chris, I'm not bringing up some terrible traumatic. But we were pretty fucked over it, man. It was a bummer.
Dude, if we get too upset about doing shit in this business, though, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah. No, now it's funny. Actually, I felt worse telling all our friends who had shown up, like, "Hey guys, we're tearing down." And they're like, "Well, I thought you'd go till 10 and it's only 8." And we're like,
Right.
"Well, here's what happened." And you're trying to tell a story that you don't even understand, but
Yeah,
you're trying
that's
to
the worst.
shape it in a way that
Joe.
people feel okay about. But
That was an interesting one.
There he
That's-
is.
It's only happened a
this is the
couple
guy that
times
fired
really
you guys.
in my life.
it wasn't his fault though. That
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, wasn't there like a big sports match on the TV or something? And
no, I
They
think what
wanted-
had happened was the main guy had gone through a breakup or something, and he himself was in a shitty state of mind or a shitty way, and he wanted like dance music. He wanted something he could zone out to.
I want to dance.
Yeah.
Right.
He did that, and
Play
'cause-
something upbeat.
Well, okay, you guys, do you remember when the Cookies played at Lobies, and I was afraid to show up because I had just been fired from there,
Yeah.
and I showed up, and I was wearing a hoodie and glasses, and I was like
I remember
incognito.
hearing
This
that
is the
story.
same story. I had just been fired 1 week before with Chris, and I didn't know if I was blacklisted. I didn't know
We got
if
a standing ovation that show.
we did so good at that show. And what's funny is I looked like the fucking Unabomber because I was afraid anybody would recognize me as the guy who just got sent home the week
I
before.
love that look.
And you kind of always have that look,
Yeah,
actually. That's kind
It's-
of your look. Yeah.
That's why I said I'm not
No,
making that
but
a
at
joke.
the end
I
of the
love that
night,
look.
Chris, at the end of the night, that same guy, that owner, he came out after the Cookies were done and had a very decent night, really. He came out and was like, "Hey, which one is the guy who was here last week?" And I'm like, "Fuck, it's me. Hi." And he explained himself and kind of apologized and told me what was going on that night from his perspective.
That's all good, man.
Yeah.
Oh, so he made it like right with the world then, or whatever, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he still jab you though? But I still want you guys. Your music still made me want to kill myself.
Yeah, pretty much. It was pretty much like
Yeah,
that.
did he kill himself? Is there a happy ending?
No, he's fine. He's fine. In fact, that place has 3 locations.
guys
now.
didn't
He's
do
doing
good enough
fucking
then.
Fine. Fuck.
They have
Yeah, but
3
that was at
locations just
Omar.
because he fired us that.
Yeah,
that
talk
one
about
night.
no follow through. Jesus Christ. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, no worth ethic.
I'm kidding.
And that's like a manager.
Hold him accountable.
Well,
Do you still
Christopher,
play that place?
no, I haven't played. I did play there up until the end of last year. I actually kind of retired, but I did play there up until December of this last year.
Well, yeah, okay, that's right. I forgot that
But we
you got your life together.
no, I had the same.
Is that what it's called?
I got burnt out. I just kind of got burnt out. I'm having more fun doing this tonight than I have at a show in a long time.
Well, good. I'm
But
glad.
this is cool. But for now, I'm going to let you go, and we are going to
Okay.
end episode 4. We made it. We made it to the hour. We're at an hour 13. We went a little over. So our guest tonight was Chris Donley.
I hope I didn't offend anyone. And
No.
it's good hearing from all you guys. I haven't seen
Good to hear
you.
you,
man.
man.
Miss you.
Chris, I love you, man, and I appreciate our friendship and our musical friendship. 20 years now, being an ISO and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Ryan
You
was
still
on
owe
the
me
first.
$7, Ryan.
How much?
7.
7?
Nice.
$7 hairs.
Why? What
That makes
happened?
sense.
That's a lot of doll hairs.
I'm joking.
We take it in pennies?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I totally have appreciation for California Love because of Chris Donley.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Whatever. By the way,
No, that's true.
Go.
That's true.
before you go, there's going to be actually you guys will probably all be invited to do if you're willing to take a drive up. There might be a startup like of a monthly video blah blah thingy. I'll explain it to you later. But
Oh yeah. Talk to us
up
off camera.
You
or
ha-
off-
you had me
it's a
at,
storyteller,
if you
like a
guys-
storyteller slash
Yeah, that'd be
an
awesome.
interview thing that I might be doing with some dude. So
Yes, please.
Love it.
We're all
but
free.
you know,
Let's do
it'd be all originals and stuff. You know,
it. Okay. I'm sure we could put something together.
Into it.
Oh,
I'll let you know.
hey Chris, before we go,
Yes.
I wanted to bring this up. I'm sorry, this is stretching this.
No,
this
that's
thing out.
fine. Fuck it. We make the rules.
Back in the day, you used to have some crazy like parties, like theme parties.
Oh yeah, like the Michael McDonald.
That's
parties.
the one I want to bring up, the Michael McDonald party.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need that needs to happen again.
Can they happen again?
Can it happen again?
I don't know. I mean, that's the hardest part. Is basically all my only friends are people in bands and musicians. So
Us too, kind of.
literally have to
You have friends?
schedule something 8 months in advance to make sure everybody can take it off, and then it's like
Yep.
it's like you guys know. I mean, you probably get
Absolutely.
like 2 or 3 offers to play that gig, and it's other that night, and it's like, man, well, that's $500 to hang out with this dude.
Dressed as Michael McDonald, talking like him all night.
I wish there, Chris, is there evidence and footage from those nights? I saw pictures, but do you have
Yeah,
any
there's-
recordings of like 7 guys
Oh,
all talking
well-
like this to each other? Hey, how's it going?
It's funny that you say that because currently I'm digitizing
Oh,
the
perfect.
entire past 25 years. Like right now, it's the night that Sindust was on Big Chuck and Little John.
Yes,
Oh, that's amazing.
So
Yeah,
I'm
that's amazing.
currently going through all that stuff, and then probably later deciding what I'm going to delete for eternity, because most of the stuff is probably embarrassing and not me anymore.
Yeah, but you still got to let that part go and appreciate what an era was, you know?
I guess, I don't know.
Now, I mean,
I wasn't the nicest fella. I don't think I was the best.
I saw some behind-the-scenes studio footage of me and Vox Subterrae from 20 years ago, and I was such a dick that I did the same thing, and I asked the drummer, I said, please don't show that to anyone. I'm really embarrassed about what I said. And he has it on...
I just, I was a stupid, cocky kid, and I had no right to be, and I don't know, I've tried to become humble through the years, but it's just,
Oh.
I don't know, it's embarrassing. But
No, I
anyway.
got you.
Well, it's not.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Dude,
Yeah, man.
anytime, man. This is fun. And, let us
I
know
did
more
go to the
about-
emergency room last Sunday, by the way, just so you know. So I've had a
Are you okay? Chris was going to join us last week.
Yeah, we're gonna need that.
He
that
wasn't
excuse, the
feeling
doctor's
well, and
excuse.
John's here tonight. John wasn't feeling well, too. Are you good?
We'll see. Who knows?
Okay. Are you pregnant?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I've got stairs.
All right, that was 99 stories.
This is 99
one.
Stories, and this is one. You're listening to Imaginary Cookies. Tonight, our friend Chris Donley was on. And
Joe, get your mother her misties.
Jeez, Brody.
thank you, Chris, for the
having me, though.
perfect.
Please check out my original stuff and the Critic City stuff and the
Yes.
Love Lag stuff.
Check out
Which
Love Lag
Scotty-
Critic
Scotty
City.
Paris is. I've gotten those masters back, Scotty, so they'll be coming out.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that.
I don't know. Maybe I'll send you a link to all that crap because
Yeah,
you're
please.
on a song that turned out awesome.
Yeah, little Mel Carney on that ass. Oh, you got to hear it. I got in my metal voice for a second on a new Chris Donley song with Love Lag. Yeah. I'm excited to hear all that. Actually, that's the hardest part is Chris and I have worked on a couple little collaborations, and then
Forgot
stuff.
about 'em.
Well, no, not forgot, but
Well,
stuff
can we-
happens,
can we
and they
debut
they get kind of put on the back burner for a minute, and then I can't talk about them because they're not released yet, or it's not the right
you
time
for-
to promote something yet.
And you forget about them, and they never come out.
No, I always remember it, and I'm always kind of like, Chris, when are you gonna put that out? Hey, you remember
Well,
when we
the
recorded that one song?
the other thing I just wanted to make sure was up to par.
Oh, for
And
sure.
it just, I don't know.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it just needed really polished up. So that'll be the next thing.
Love it.
So what I literally had Homeboy do was like take a step away from it for a while, work on the Love Lag stuff, and then we're gonna come back to that.
No, that's
now,
perfect.
so.
I'm excited to hear all that. I want to hear the Love Lag feature. Well, and I wouldn't hear the whole album, but I'm excited to hear all the stuff.
That's what I don't know what to do with it. Like I wanted some opinions because I sent him, I think 50 songs, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
triple
Well, I sent him
album.
50
You were sent a
originals
trip-
and then
triple
like
album.
30 covers, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I should do EPs or full albums or just singles or what. But I don't know. I'll talk to you when we're not wasting people's time.
We'll
I'll
get
just
there.
waste your time.
Anytime. You can waste my time all the time, anytime.
Aw.
I love it,
All
Paul.
right, pal. All right, guys. It's good to hear from you.
All right.
Hope you're
See you,
doing
Chris.
See you, Chris.
all great.
Talk to you, Chris. See you.
All right, guys.
Yeah, but
What? All right. This was 99 Stories, and this is one. And we will catch you on episode 5. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I was going to go out with the theme music like I did last week. Hold that thought. Hold that
something,
thought. Something. And
Bye.
bye.
Yeah.
Need to smoke a cigarette. You want to smoke a cigarette?